I think that they want to be able to solve these things, indigenous, without having the power, the basis to do this, And because they've not established that power basis first, they demand that it comes first on the agenda, so to speak. It's almost like what you said with like primary and secondary contradictions, what Mao said. Yes, these are problems, but you only get this first by establishing trust and a basis in the people. That comes first.
And by the way, that's only in terms of educating them about it, which is a cultural thing. Educating people about the crimes against Native Americans. Yeah, that's cultural though. That's doing something that's real in relation to the predicament of native, whatever. I don't know if they like to be called as Indians. That has nothing to do with, that's not just a matter of culture. It's a concrete thing. It's about giving them land and all this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? It has nothing to do with merely acknowledging something. Like, and by the way, the thing that they were demanding everyone acknowledge was just negative. Let's acknowledge America is founded by sin. No one wants to dwell in a bitchy, negative fucking world. Let me tell you, man, life's already a bitch. People are jobless and struggling for jobs. Jobs went overseas. The way of life is being destroyed. You don't think they have enough of a bitchy reality? They're living it, man. You're just a fucking college student or a graduate student in a graduate student union, and you don't have enough of the bitchy reality, so you have to make one abstractly. People are already living it. If you only give people negativity, oh, America's sinful. So what do you have to offer? What is your fucking point? If you have a point, get to that point instead of this stupid iconoclasm that you are so content with dwelling in. No one likes a whiner, and no one likes someone who just bitches as a way of life. In order to live, I'm going to be like a self-help guy, but living means positivity in a way, right? Living means waking up and just living, persisting. If you dwell in negativity all the fucking time, that's no way for a fucking human being to live. Get to the point. You just want people to acknowledge it? No, but I'll tell you what they'll say. They'll say, well, the first step to doing anything about it is acknowledging it. No, it's not. It's the last step. First of all, you don't know what the positive consequence of that is. It's not necessarily true that all of America is a nihil because of what you're saying. There's a reality to America that isn't just that. There's a deeper reality to the thing you're saying. There's more to it than that. Or the implication of that is not reducible to the appearance of a horrible crime. And there's other implications too, that you got to draw out with work.
I think it has a lot to do with like this kind of way of thinking where we supposedly want to get to like the deep, dark reality of things. But I think in some ways, when you get down to like the deep, dark reality of things and so on, you end up missing the bigger picture because you end up missing the appearance. There's kind of a truth to the appearance of good, even when there's like, evil beneath it. And I think almost a commitment to that appearance of good is like precisely what's needed, because I think that appearance is more than just like superficial, more than just like an ideological lie, but actually represents something redeemable about America. Like, as an American citizen, or like as a someone who's taking like a political stance or being a partisan, if you're coming from an American standpoint, I think you do still need to like face yourself in this kind of like idea of America as being, this experiment of democracy and of Enlightenment principles. It's just that you have to commit yourself more deeply to that than the actual founding fathers and so on were capable of doing in their context.
The whole point about what you said about seeing appearance of the good, there's a truth in it, is to arrive at the insight that the good, the Platonic good, never pretended to worldly perfection. The form of forms was never reducible to any phenomenal appearance in the first place. You only made the assumption it was after the good was debased. the appearance of the good was debased. To have a higher sense of the good, and even you can even think about this in terms of what is the meaning of Maoist goodness of the people, Stalinist or Maoist, because they say the goodness of the people. It's a very common Maoist motif. How can you say the goodness of the people? The people rape, lie, cheat, and all these bad things. And then leftists will go, well, how can you say there's patriarchy and there's racism? Okay. Because when you say the goodness of the people, you're referring to something that's not reducible to what is formally intelligible on the surface. That's the meaning of the goodness of the people. So to see the goodness of the American people doesn't mean to excuse all the crimes and hideous shit. It just means to acknowledge there's a reality that's not on the surface that is ultimately what is called the good, the form of forms.